comments tonight. But the one thought I think she has expressed to me is, why do they have to make it more difficult? Keep it simple and less confusing. And to me, it sounds like A/B scheduling is more confusing.
I've worked with it before, and it takes a week or two to get used to it, but once you get into that frame of mind, there's basically no learning curve. The truth is, there's a lot of truth in what Beth has said, is that, it's really about the instruction, and that's my focus. I just think that having kids developmentally for an entire year, you get to have a chance for them to be able to grow developmentally over the entire year rather than just the 16 weeks. And I think that that's where the competencies is really important, that you have them developmentally. If you have English first semester, you may not have developed all that you need, that you would be different in January than you are developmentally in May. And our freshman academy has always gone full year because of that reason.
I heard the comment today, and speaking of the freshman academy, one of the freshman academy teachers said that the student you get in September is very different from the student that you leave in June developmentally. So kids that are doing the semester courses from September to January, as a teacher, so much happens from January to June developmentally and mature-wise that if you have a kid in freshman year at the beginning, if you had that same kid in that same course, chances are good that they would do better the second semester because they're developmentally more mature. So if you can spread them out, and I think that's part of the reason why we went to freshman academy, was to give them smaller chunks of time over a longer period of the year. So developmentally, they are, like I say, more mature and more grown up again. But I mean, that's what it is. And the 4x4, the way it is, you get them for 90 days. That's been one of my complaints about the 4x4. You just have them for too short a period of time, calendar-wise, not minutes per day-wise, but calendar-wise. And one of the things with the trimester that I did like was that I would have them for 2/3 of the year, for 120 days. And the more days I see them, the happier I was. So I supported the AB because I get to see them for the whole school year.
Okay. It sounds like you're trying
But you only see them, you're still only going to see them 90 days.
That's correct, but I'm going to see them over the whole course of their developmental growth year. And that makes a difference.
A voice up front.
It sounds like you're trying to change the schedule to make it easier for kids. But we don't really care unless it's not difficult. We're learning and what was the other thing? Oh yeah, we get time to for help and that kind of stuff. So it sounds like we're voicing all these things, but we really need to make it, help the kids, because we're the ones that have to deal with all.
And that's why that homeroom is so vital, is that you have that time for enrichment and to touch base with your teachers again.
I'm going to be a junior this year. I was on student voice. I've been on student voice for freshman as well as sophomore year. We were approached, as I recall correctly, probably December, January, as to what the students felt as a broad spectrum would feel appropriate to do for a schedule change. I believe, if I'm correct, that the student voice, which is the class officers throughout all 4 grades, had decided not on a trimester, but we had thought that, I believe one of the schedules that we had thought would be most likely successful for students would be an AB day. I think it was a 7-period AB, not an 8-period, but I think it was a 7-period AB. I'd like to voice the fact, though, that I don't think it's more or less a fact that we necessarily need to push a schedule forward, but the four block 90-minute, I think, is too long. Some of the students, I myself, I don't as much as care. 90 minutes, 8 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever. But I think the fact that I don't care. I think the fact, though, that it just, we're to the point now where the trimester schedule is not going to be able to get pushed forward. Whether the fact that you guys decide to move forward on doing the 8-period AB or keeping the 4 block, something just needs to be asserted, the fact that the students can feel comfortable coming to school on that first day, knowing that not only they're gonna be able to learn throughout that year, but know the fact that their teachers are prepared and ready to teach them, and not kind of like, okay, we're all walking into this August 30th, and we're like, okay.
Absolutely.
But that's just,
Agreed. And then, here, then there.
One of my a concern that I have with it, and watching Mr. Twain's again, is that, so, they have been on the 4 block, which has been 9-unit classes. But they've had four classes for 1 full semester.
Yes, ma'am.
And now we're looking at an AD where they're still gonna have 4 classes.
A day.
A day, so really we're looking at 8 classes in 2 days, and these classes are each 80 minutes long. Why are we not doubling the homework that these kids are gonna have? And I mean, it seems to me that's what we're doing, and I'm wondering how we're supposed to accomplish that.
Well,
And
well, my hope is, that, again, is that we'll have a study hall for those kids who would like to take 7 classes and have a study hall during one of their days. The other part of it is that, I think that as reasonable educators, we won't have a longer period to extend something over. So it may be that you don't have to give the same amount of homework that you would at a time that you would in a 4x4. But these are all issues, whether it's, we have, in the student board stuff, one of the things they said was the homework was killing them with 4 classes, with the amount of stuff they had to accomplish in order to be able to move curricularly from one day to the other. So homework and how we deal with pacing of our classes, that's something that's a huge issue no matter what schedule we need to go to. And that's something we have to address as a faculty. And to be quite honest, we spent an entire year talking about schedules. And I don't want to talk about, with all due deference, I don't want to talk about schedules anymore. I haven't looked at our NEWA scores. I haven't looked at our NESCAP scores. I haven't done programming for kids. I haven't put out letters to my faculty about how I want them to do their lesson plan. I haven't talked about what my fundamental beliefs are about instruction. I want to get to that, because to be quite honest, if we can deal with those issues, we won't be 5 from the bottom, we'll be 5 from the top. And the truth is that homework is an issue, and I don't know what the answer is, and I'm not trying to dance around that. I've done AP schedules, and the kids did not have an overwhelming course load. With our AP schedule, with our AP classes, and because AP Lit and Calc, they're all every day anyway, so that's not going to be an increase in their overall homework. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Could it become one? Perhaps.